But let's get into this DCFS story. So, basically, I think I may have been in second grade, maybe third grade. But and this was a long time ago, y'all, so please bear with me. But I remember going to school and going to the guidance counselor or the in-school therapist or something like that. And I remember telling them that my mother beat me. She beat me and I want to live with my grandmother. I remember telling them that. And I remember telling them like, yeah, my mother is evil and she beats me and I want to go live with my grandmother. And I remember them, I guess, doing an investigation. They took me to the hospital. They took pictures of me. They wanted to see if I had scars and bruises. I didn't have anything on my body. And they brought me in a room with my mom. And it's like I had broke her heart, because that was the first time I ever seen my mom have any type of emotion towards me. It's like, it was the first time I ever seen her cry. And she basically was just like, I'm sorry that I don't give you enough attention. And if this is a cry for help, a cry for attention, like, I'm sorry that I don't spend enough time with you. I love you. You are my baby. You are my seed. It's just you and me. Like, I love you and I'm sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. And I just felt like, mind you, I was like around, like, this may have been first, second grade, maybe one of them. And I just felt like shit. I didn't realize the severity of what I had done, but I didn't know that this was the first time I had ever seen my mother cry, and it was because of me. And I was like, shit, I'm not really understanding, but like, I know that I did bad. And I remember when we got home, because there was no investigation. I didn't have scars on me. I couldn't tell them when she beat me, because honestly, she wasn't beating me at the time. Like, I mean, I would get my whoopings here and there, but barely even that, because I didn't do shit for real. But my mama was not beating me at the time. So it was like, there's no point in doing an investigation, because like, so of course they sent me back with her. And I remember when we got home, maybe that same day or another day, she had told me like, you really hurt me. Like, it's me and you in this world. And that's what my mama always say. She would just be like, it's me and you. It's me and you against everybody. It's just me and you. We all we got. And she had told me like, I really hurt her. And I really broke her. And at the time, I grew up thinking that I did that on my own. Like, I went to the school and I said that on my own. Like, at the time, I just couldn't remember being told to do it. Like, I always felt like I just went to school and I just did that on my own, like out of nowhere, which looking back, of course, that doesn't make sense. But at the time, I don't remember having a conversation with anybody, and I just always felt like it was me who did it on my own. So for a long time I carried that, because I really did feel like I was the one who did that on my own. But reality is that my grandmother at the time didn't have a house. I don't think she had a job. I think she was staying with my auntie, and she told me to go to school and say that, because basically, if I went to school and I told them that my mother was beating on me and that I wanted to live with my grandmother, she would get a check for me staying with her, and they would put her in housing. And so basically, my grandmother wanted me to blow up my mother's entire life for her own financial gain. And so you can see how that really fucked up my mama, because her relationship with her mama, I never really knew the real dynamic, but I just knew they was in each other's life. Like, it may have been similar to me and her dynamic, maybe, but I do know that I always did see my grandma, and that they used to laugh and stuff like that. Like, it was, they had a family. Like, it was a family. She had her sister, she had her mama, she had her daddy. Like, it was a family. So after that happened, the family really broke up because my mom like swore not to like ever talk to my grandmother again. And for years she didn't speak to her. But it was kind of like that was really, how do I say this without sounding like I'm the victim, right? Cuz like I said, I was a kid, so I give myself the grace. I really did not know what the fuck was going on. But I kind of feel like, without me trying to sound like I'm trying to manipulate the situation, and stay with me, y'all. I really feel like when I hurt my mom, I used to feel like that is what changed her to really start treating me the way that she did. But I think that it's like, I honestly feel like my mom has always hated me or disliked me. And when I hurt her, all that did was kind of take away, like it's like my mom didn't never really showed me how much she disliked me. I knew it was awkward. I knew we didn't talk. You know what I'm saying? It was always emotionally neglectful and distant. But she never like spoke to me a certain type of way. She never really put her hands on me. She never really did the extra shit, you know? But I feel like when I hurt her, it kind of evoked that energy out. It kind of brought out how she really felt about me. It's like that hurt really like brought it out of her. Like, ooh, like you thought I didn't like you then. Like I hate you now. Like, whoa. Whoa. When my mother started to change, I blamed myself, especially because, like I told y'all, I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't just that first time. When I got a little bit older, I told y'all, like, from that moment, she changed. So the way that my mother was before, where we kind of had a dynamic and she was kind of nice to me, it's like that shit had just slowly that shit was gone. She was meaner. She was colder. She did start getting more violent towards me. Like, I did start getting more ass whoopings. Like, and I'm talking about like ass whoopings. Like that belt, she used to go ham. Like, I'm talking about whips and bruises that stayed for weeks on me. She would like sit on my back and whip my legs, and she would ignore me, and she would push me, and she would always have an attitude towards me. Like, if she would call on the phone, she would have an attitude. She would ring the doorbell, she would have an attitude. She would just find things to get mad at me about. She would just start talking about me to family members in negative ways. It's like she just snapped. And then I think I remember one time where I was in the shower and she was mad at me for, I guess, not showering or taking care of myself or taking care of my hygiene. But you know, my mother, like I told y'all, I'm going to get into it, but I was in the shower and I remember her being so angry, and she came in and she whipped me with an extension cord while I was in the shower. So I have like all these red whips on me, and it stings and it burns, and she's just upset. She's just mad. And that is when I had went to school again and said, like, no, this time I really am getting beat. Because it's like I never knew what DCFS was. Like, I never knew what it was. And then when I finally did experience that, I was like, yeah, like, get me away from her. Please, like, I know what it is now. Get me away from her. And they still did not get me away from her. And let's also talk about how fucked up the system is because of shit like that. Like, giving your child back to the person that's reporting them. Do you not know how dangerous that is? Do you not know how, like, people are losing their lives? But the fucked up part is, I possibly would have dealt with worse if I was put in the system. So it's like, you can either deal with this or you can deal with this. Like, it's fucked up either way. But this time, before they gave me back, they gave me to my auntie and my father. I had spent some time at my auntie house, and everybody was like disappointing me because they was like, you keep putting your mama through this. Like, I remember my grandfather was like, you not gonna do that shit again. You not gonna keep hurting my baby. You not gonna keep putting her through this. And he said that to me. You not gonna keep hurting my baby. You my granddaughter, but that's my daughter, and you're not gonna keep hurting her. And I just felt like shit. But I'm just like, y'all, there's a like, it's like maybe it was a cry for help, but I wasn't going about it the right way. So I was doing what I felt like I had to do. But it was just like, this lady does not love me. This lady does not like me. This lady is bullying me. This lady hates me. And I'm trying to find a way to communicate with somebody. I'm trying to be heard, and maybe I'm not going about it the right way, but like, somebody please, like. But instead, like, my family, like, it's just like they just shunned me, and they were disappointed in me. They already didn't really fuck with my grandma, and now they like, girl, they like blame my grandma because they like, you the one who taught her how to do this shit. Like, you the one, you probably told her to do this shit again. And like, so my grandma was kind of like casted out, but in a way. But she my grandma, so she the glue of the family. So like, they're still gonna fuck with my grandma, but my mama didn't fuck with her no more. But I did spend some time with my auntie, and then I told y'all I used to spend summers with my father, so they end up giving me to my father, and I had spent the summer with him. And even he was disappointed in me. Like, why do you keep doing this to your mama? Why do you keep her your mama? Like, why do you keep going to them people saying she beating you? Like, you want them to take you from her? Is that what you want? And it's just like, it's like nobody was understanding me. Like, I don't know if I ever really wanted to get away from her during that time. But I did know that I think I was really trying to cry out for help, or trying to like get somebody to see like the way our dynamic is not okay. Like, she's not okay, I'm not okay. Like, we bumping heads right now. And everybody just kept making me feel like shit, and I just felt so bad. And then after that second time, it was like my mom just was like completely, it was like I wasn't even her daughter no more. As I got older and entered my teenage years, even before like maybe my preteen, teenage years, it started to get more intense. My mother would be very angry and spiteful at me. So if I would make her mad or make her angry, she wouldn't cook dinner. She wouldn't talk to me for weeks. She would ignore me. She would talk about me on the phone. She, would just act like I just don't even exist. And I just always felt like the punishment never fit the crime. Like, my mama would get mad, like, you always in my room. And I used to feel bad, like I was really doing something wrong. But then I looked back, and I see so many kids who like love being in their parents' room. And I was like, so this is universal. Like, wanting to be in your mama room after she go to work. That's universal, right? Because for some reason, every time she went to work, I would just go in her room. Like, I would snoop, and I would look through stuff, and I would take some stuff that I wanted. But it was just like, this mama, like, I don't know. Like, but I see that it's universal. So now I just feel bad that I felt bad. But I was just like, mama, I don't know why I can't keep standing in your room. Like, I miss you. It's your presence. Like, we don't talk. This is the only way I understand you. This is your energy, your presence. You always in your room. You always away from me. I want to be in your bed. I want to read your books. It's not because she always used to be like, you being sneaky. But it's just like, mama, I'm just in your room because I don't know. I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew I loved being in my mama room. She hated that. So she would punish me for that. If I opened another box of cereal before I finished the first box, or if I didn't throw something away, or if I ate something too quick, like, it's just like the smallest shit would just piss her off. And she would just get real spiteful. She wouldn't do my hair. She wouldn't do my laundry. She wouldn't cook dinner. And I didn't know how to cook, because she always used to say, like, I'm not teaching you how to cook. I don't want you cooking in my kitchen on my stove, because I don't want you burning the house down. I'm not going to teach you how to do laundry, because you're not going to break my washing machine. So I didn't know how to do anything. When it came to my hair, she would be like, you need to learn by watching me. But I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? What the fuck am I watching? So when she was mad at me, she didn't do nothing. And my mother, she never taught me how to be a woman. She never taught me how to properly take care of myself, how to take care of my hygiene, how to do my hair, how to dress, how to style. Like, she always bought stuff for me. Like, she just never, I told y'all, we just never had that relationship. I just had to figure out shit on my own. And then I went to school looking raggedy, getting bullied, getting talked about. They thought I was less fortunate. They thought I was homeless. Me and my mom is in this big ass house, and they thinking that I'm homeless and I'm less fortunate because I'm not smelling right all the time. And that's something that really affected me, because like, I would really be in the bathroom scrubbing my skin red. But I have always been an over sweater. My mom said I got it from her. Like, just being a heavy sweater. My mom said she grew out of it. I never seemed to. But it's just like, it's like no matter what I did, I was always sweating. I would take a shower in the morning and I would really try to scrub, because it's like, I'm going to school and I'm scared I'm gonna be bullied. And it's like, it would never last. Like, I don't know if it was the deodorant, I don't know if it was the soap, but it just didn't pair. And bad, damn near second period, I stunk. And don't let me have PE first period. I was petrified. I was petrified. Couldn't use the showers at school. So my hair not done. My clothes kind of got a stench on them because they haven't been washed, and I'm trying to hand wash it in the sink and throw it in the dryer, and I smell. And I'm getting bullied because of it, and she doesn't care. I'm real skinny and getting skinnier and skinnier. I remember my auntie used to come over, because that's when I told y'all my cousins that I was close with. That's when I started seeing them more and more. Like, when we got older, we was close in age. So I would see my auntie and my cousins more and more. And my auntie would just, and at that time, she was my favorite auntie, because she knew how fucked up my mama was being towards me. And she would talk to me about it all the time. Like, your mama, she not right. What she doing to you is not right. How she treating you is not right. Like, you not even eating. Because I wasn't. And I think that I established a eating disorder at a younger age because of that. Like, I wasn't eating. So like, and then you already know how the black community is about gaining weight anyway. So I was always afraid to gain weight. But it's like, I couldn't, because like, I wasn't eating. If my mama wasn't cooking, I was eating noodles and raviolis and sandwiches. I had to convince her to let me start making grilled cheese, but she never wanted me to cook, because she always said I was going to quote unquote burn the house down. She never let me wash my clothes. Like, I had to do stuff. So when she was calling me sneaky, I was, because like, I'm cooking when you're not home. I'm trying to wash my clothes when you're not home. And of course, like, when I was a teenager, like, it's like, I got punished for the shit that it's like everybody does. I was a good kid. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking. I wasn't having sex. Did I like boys? Yeah. You know, did I have hormones? Yeah. You know, did I get myself in situations? Yeah. Did I not always come home straight after school? Yeah. But it's just like, I did the stuff that it's like every kid did. But it's just like, mama, like, I wouldn't have done that if you would let me go outside. She didn't want me to go outside. She didn't let me go outside. She didn't let me go to my friend's house. She damn near didn't let me call anybody. She would hide birthday invitations. If somebody sent a birthday invitation to the house, she would hide it from me. And I would find it, and because my friends would be like, you didn't get the invitation, I sent it to you. And then I would find it, and she wouldn't have never told me about it. It's like, she just hated me. And I would talk to my auntie, and she would just be like, I don't know why she is this way with you. And I was like so skinny during that time. I was the skinniest I ever been, because she cooked when she wasn't cooking. I'm not going to sit here and act like my mama wasn't cooking. She was cooking for me. Like, my mama was cooking. She was cooking damn near every day. But when I pissed her off, which was damn near all the time, like, she was always mad at me. She didn't want to do shit. Sometimes she did cook when she was mad though. But other times it would kind of just be like, fuck you. And then that's where that avoidance and negligence started to arise, because like I would try to talk to her and tell her I'm sorry. She'd be like, fuck you, I don't want to hear it. I would try to write her notes. She'd be like, don't leave me, shit, don't talk to me. I would try to cry. She would be like, get the fuck out of my face with that crying shit. It just, the punishments never fit the crime. Leaving cereal out, not cleaning how you want me to clean, even though you never really taught me how to clean. Like, being late, like the biggest thing that we used to get into it about when I was a teenager was me, quote unquote, being lazy. But y'all, I was taking 6 buses a day. I was taking 3 buses to school and 3 buses back. I was in AP and honors classes. I went to a college prep high school, and I had homework from each class, and it was always an extensive amount of homework, about 5 hours of homework every night. I get out of school at 4. It takes me about an hour, hour and a half to get home. I'm tired. I've been in classes all day. I will always hate how parents don't see school as a job. You want me on honor roll so you can brag and in front of your friends, and I'm on honor roll because I'm trying to go to college so I can get the fuck out of here. But me being tired, it's like, it's not an excuse. It's like, oh, if I'm tired and I'm still able to come home and make you dinner, then you should be able to come home. And it's like, I understood that, but it's like, mama, when I come home, the first thing I'm not trying to clean as soon as I get home. Like, can I decompress? And sometimes I would be so tired that I would fall asleep, and she would get mad, and now I'm lazy, and now I'm ignorant, and now I'm a bastard, and now I'm ungrateful. And we used to get into it all the time. On the weekend, she'd be like, all you want to do is sit around all day, sit on your motherfucking ass all day. You late. Like, you would think she talking to me like a person on the street. You lazy bastard. Like, you don't never want to do shit. I'm so fucking sick of you. I'm going to put your ass out. You acting ungrateful. It's other motherfuckers it's other children who will love your position, who will love your spot. If you think that I'm treating you bad, you don't know shit yet. And it's just like, yeah. And it's like, I thought of running away so many times. Like, so many times I thought of running away. But I just knew in my heart I wasn't going to make it. My auntie, she literally was like, if you run away, you can come to my house. And I remember when she moved, and that broke me. Because at first she was staying in Chicago, and then she moved. And she was like, if you run away and you call me, I will get you a ticket and you will be here. But it's just like, when it came to my mama was always financially equipped, and I just felt like if I ran away, there was no way that I was going to be able to like go to college and be successful. And I remember I used to talk to my grandfather, and it's like nobody cared. Like, my auntie was the only person that genuinely showed concern, but like nobody would tell my mama these things. And if they did, she'd just be like, this is my fucking child and fuck you. And then she'd stop talking to them. So, but I remember talking to my grandfather, and he would just be like, just wait until you 18, then you can leave. Just wait until you 18, you can leave. And that eventually became my motto. Like, I really put up with it until I went to college, until I was free. Like, I really did feel like Cinderella. Like, I'm waiting for the right time. And she is financially equipped. Because I am afraid that if I run away, if I do not have her, then I'm not going to be successful. And that may be stuff that she put in my brain that may have been fear, but that's genuinely how I felt. So I dealt with it. She would embarrass me in front of family members, and curse me out and yell at me and talk about my hygiene and talk about how I get bullied and talk about my hair and laugh at me and tell me to shut the fuck up and get away from everybody. So everybody would be downstairs, and then she'll send me to my room, and then she would get takeout for my auntie and my cousins, and not get takeout for me. So me and my cousins would be like upstairs, and they would like give me some of their food while I like ate noodles, or I probably like wouldn't eat it all. Because she was always mad at me. So she always had to single me out by doing stuff like that. She would whoop me more, but it stopped being less with a belt when I got older and started just being with like her body. So like I'm getting slapped all the time. Like I'm talking about slap the shit out of. I'm being pulled, I'm being dragged, I'm being slammed. She's throwing stuff at me. She's throwing boxes at me. She's throwing items at me. She's just angry. And my mother, like, I realized that my mother, she wasn't just angry at me, but it's like she just was like angry within. It's like she was angry with her life. Because also when it comes to my mother, I feel like my mother is very male centered. And that was also a big downfall in our relationship as well. Because I feel like her mood often was determined by how her and her male significant other was doing. She already couldn't stand me, but like with her being male centered, if she was already upset with that, she just couldn't stand me more. And so when my mother got hurt, it's like I would be her punching bag. Like if I didn't even do nothing, she would just still give me attitude or yell at me or create something to be mad at me. Made herself breakfast on Sundays, but it was very rare that she like made me some. And when she had a male partner over, sometimes she would make some for me and sometimes she would just make some for the both of them. But I know that like when she would be in a good mood, she would do things to make it seem like she was like a really great mom or to show the male person that she was a really, really great mom. And if she ever did something to me that the male guy didn't like and they said something, then she would feel bad and then she would end up giving me whatever like I wanted. But it was always based on like her mood. So sometimes she would pretend to be like this really sweet, giving, caring mother. And then sometimes she would like purposely like embarrass me and dehumanize me in front of people to also try to assert dominance or make it seem like she like has me in line. Everybody, her coworkers, the family, everybody knew that my mother was strict. I didn't get a phone until I was 16. I had one when I was younger, but I got caught up, in some kick messages. She saw some stuff and I was like, oh shit. And then I didn't have a phone until I was 16. That was like, I maybe went without a phone for like 5, 6 years. I was using like an iPod or something. I couldn't go outside for real, but I was still sneaking outside. And she was just strict. It was like a warden. Everybody was like, you always so strict on her. You always so strict on her. And she would just be like, I'm strict on her because I love her. I'm strict on her because I want the best for her. I'm strict on her because blah, blah, blah. But part of that might be true, but it wasn't always the truth. Like that, it's like that woman hated me and she just hated to see me joyful. She would do things like throw events for me, like birthday parties and stuff. She would use certain events to make it seem like, I'm so spoiled and she loves me so much. And but I always felt like it was an act for the family and for other people to make it seem like I said, like she was a good mother. And I'm not saying that she wasn't one, but I'm just saying like to make it seem like she's nicer or doing stuff that she doesn't normally do. Like it was like the parties wasn't for me, they were for her. But my mother was just very spiteful and very mean. I reconnected with a friend from middle school and I remember her telling me like after 8th grade, like we didn't stay in contact. And I told her, I said, I'm going to be honest with you. This is why. The day that I graduated 8th grade, my mother was mad at me for something as always. And I don't know what I had did before, but like I told y'all, the punishment never fit the crime, y'all. It never fit the crime. And so I went to the graduation. First of all, I was already upset because my father didn't come. He didn't come to none of my graduations. He didn't come to my kindergarten one. He didn't come to my 8th grade one. He was invited to both. He didn't come. So I was already upset, but the show must go on. So my mother comes and she's in a better mood and she's very proud of me. And she has this gift bag in her hand. And I'm thinking she's about to give it to me. She ends up giving it to my friend in my face. I'm like, oh, okay. So then another friend is like, oh, Psychesia, like, do you want to come out with us? We going to Buffalo Wild Wings. Like, do you want to come? And my mother tells her mother, like, no, Psychesia can't come out. She has chores to do. She has things to do. And on my 8th grade graduation, after graduation, she made me mow the lawn and rake the leaves while she pulled out a chair and watched. We had a front and a backyard. And for my 8th grade graduation, I was mowing the lawn and I was raking the leaves. And she sat in a chair and she basically was like, you don't get rewarded. You've been acting an ass. Like, you've been disobeying me. You've been being an asshole. That was her favorite cuss word, to call me an asshole. And that's what I did for my 8th grade graduation. And I just feel like, regardless of you being pissed, regardless of I did, whatever I did doesn't amount to the hard work that I put in to graduate 8th grade. So even if you was pissed at me, even say if the crime did fit the punishment or whatever, like, let me have my moment. Because it's not about rewarding me because, you know, just to reward me. It's about, I put in a lot of work to graduate 8th grade. And I want to be proud of that. I want to feel like I did something good. I just graduated. But for my mom being spiteful, no. And the best that she did that night was, when I was done, she bought me some Harold's chicken. And that was it. She never got me anything. She never did nothing. That was it. And I was just so shameful and so embarrassed about the way that, like, my mama was treating me in school, that, like, I just wanted to cut everybody off. Like, I mean, honestly, I didn't have a lot of real friends in middle school anyway, but I mean, and then there was this other time where I got into it with this girl on Facebook. And I wasn't supposed to have a Facebook. I wasn't supposed to be using the tablet because my mom had, like, originally got me the tablet on Christmas and then took all my gifts away 30 seconds after I opened all my gifts. And she did that in front of the family. That's the type of shit my mama did. But the tablet, I ended up finding it and I ended up, like, using it because it was mine. The fuck? And I was using it and she didn't know I was using it. But then I got in trouble because I was going back and forth with a girl on Facebook. And my mother found out because the school called her. And she got so mad at me. And she was like, where's the iPad? Like, where's the tablet? Where's the tablet? And I wouldn't give it to her. And she went to go get a broomstick. And she just came upstairs and she just beat the shit out of me with the broomstick. And I was trying to, like, dodge her with my hand. And my hand just end up getting real cut with lots of bruises, lots of like scrapes and stuff. When she was done, she had literally told me go clean that shit up, and I didn't even realize, like, how fucked up my arm was until I went to the bathroom and there was literally blood soaking from my arm. Like, there was blood, there was scratches, there was whips, there was bruises, and just so much blood. And I think my mama knew she went too far, but then the next day I heard her laughing about it to my grandfather. Like, the broomstick was damn near, like, you couldn't even use it anymore. Like, she was just beating the shit out of me with it. Maybe I deserved it, because maybe I shouldn't have took the tablet. Maybe she went too far. Like, I don't know. But, like I told y'all, like, she just, Like, she had a look in her eye. Like, that woman, I just really feel like that woman hated me. There was no love there. There was no genuine support there. It just was always about her. And it's like I was her punching bag, because it was always just me and her. Whenever she wasn't okay, I was her punching bag. Whenever a man pissed her off, I was her punching bag. She would give more attention to a man than she would me. She would give more love to a man than she would me. She didn't even know what was going on with me. She didn't know I was being touched. She didn't know I had lost my virginity without consent. She didn't know about any of it. And she didn't care, because she was living her life and she was in love with whoever she was in love with. And my auntie and my cousins, like, it's like everybody was sad. And the worst part is when my mother would get mad at my family members and use me as a pawn. Like I told y'all in my father episode that we went 6 years without talking. And yes, a part of him is to blame, but another part is my mother, because she really did always use me as a pawn. If she got mad at a family member, now you can't see me and now you can't talk to me. And now I'm going years without talking to my family members. Now I'm going years without building a relationship with them, because you're mad at them, because you're not talking to them. I just always got the short end of the stick. And my family, they would always, like, I would vent to them. And it's like, they would make me seem like I'm crazy. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, you know your mama, and just try to do this and try to do that. What else is there to do? What else can I do? There's nothing else that can be done. I don't know. I don't know what I did to really make that woman hate me so much. And I never ever wanted to think about my mother being jealous of me, or, despising me. But it really does seem like she does. And that she is. It's like my mother always said, I'm raising you to be better than me. I'm raising you to live the life that I never had. But yet, it's like those are the same things that you despise and hate me for. Because I have a light, because I'm bubbly, because people love me, because I went to college and graduated, because this and that, like all these things. But it's like, you're my mother. You raised me. You helped me get here. I couldn't get here without you. When I went off to college, I was so happy to get away from her, and she ended up cutting me off financially after she had told me I didn't have to worry about it. Now, granted, I was asking her for a lot of money and I was spending a lot of money, but it was college. It was my freshman year of college. I didn't know shit was so expensive. And, I was also buying bullshit, but it's like, I need gear and I want to go to the games and I want to live an experience. And then she ended up cutting me off financially, and I ended up working 2 jobs. And my family, they were so happy that I was going to college, but nobody came to visit me, not once. My grandfather came once, I think my junior year. I went to school 2 hours from Chicago. Nobody came. Nobody ever sent me, oh, happy midterms, happy final. I never got a care package, never got a letter. Everybody was so excited, but nobody gave a fuck at the same time. And then they was like, you didn't call me. I'm the one in college. Nobody, it's like everybody was always happy about the achievement, but nobody, everybody used the achievement to make themselves look good. Like, oh, I did a great job because she achieved. I did a great job because she accomplished it. But that's my hard work. I put in them hours. My mama wasn't helping me with homework. My mama was actually being a pain in my ass. Because my mama wasn't signing certain stuff or doing certain stuff, sometimes she would delay me, actually. But I put that hard work in. I did that. And using my accomplishments for you to feel like you're a great mom and you're doing the right things. Because I went to prom. Because I went to college. Because this and that. She ruined damn near the prom experience for me. I'm getting my dress custom made, and she talking about we didn't pick these colors. Me and the prom lady is sitting there like, yes, we did. It's wrote down. Now she hate the dress. Now she upset. People popping up at my prom that I didn't invite. Now she taking it out on me. Now she's upset. It's like she would ruin my events. But the events was never for me. They were for her. So it makes sense why she would do that. It was never a genuine it was never a genuine connection. It was never a genuine excitement for the events, because every graduation I've had, she's never been like, let's have a party, or what do you want to do, or let's all spend time as a family. It's okay, we finna grab some carry out to go, and then that's it. It's never, oh my God, you graduated, you did this, you did that. Never. None of my graduations I've ever had have we all sat down as a family and like went to a family dinner like everybody else and did all that. No. It was, okay, y'all want McDonald's? I think my high school graduation, my family, nobody reserved anything. Nobody did anything. We all went to Culver's, and then we went our separate ways. And then I went back to the house. That was my high school graduation. And in college, I stopped talking to my mom a little bit as well. Like, I stopped talking to her, and then it was kind of like off and on. And then I just had decided, like, my mom is really just a thorn in my back. And I didn't need her for college because she had took out the loans in my name. I mean, I took out some Parent Plus loans in hers, but she would make that process so difficult too. Like, if I needed her to fill out something on FAFSA, she always gave me the hardest time. But it was always about control. Because I was in college and I didn't really need her, she would take anything to have control. So if it meant her delaying doing something and making me beg and she would do that. She always did that. It was always about control. In school, middle school, high school, she didn't come to any of my school events, maybe one or two. She didn't come to my showcases. She just wasn't involved. She didn't want to be involved. She didn't want to be there. And even though, like, I did speak to my mother recently, but I think that I really just realized that, like, because I feel like I would be lying if I said I didn't want my mother in my life. I would be lying if I said I didn't think about her. I would be lying if I said I wasn't trying to make it work. But it's just like, realistically, I know that she's just never going to be the type of mom that I want her and I need her to be. She's just not going to be that for me. And that hurts so much, but it's so true. She's never going to be that for me. And so I be letting her in. I be cutting her off and letting her back in, thinking that she's going to learn her lesson, and she doesn't. And I remember when my grandmother died, and I came over, and she had got mad at me about a speaker, yelled at me, cursed at me like a dog because I had her speaker upstairs, or a speaker charger, yelled at me, cursed at me, just like old times. I thought that my grandmother dying would make people closer, especially because my mother and my grandmother, they had resolved their issues before my grandmother died. So I thought my mother would really kind of be like, oh, well, I want a better relationship with my daughter. No, it was the same. I came home to see her, to see the family. She cursed at me. I left. I came back for the funeral. She had all these family members in the house, didn't leave me any space. She gave them my room. The couches were taken up. The guest room was taken up. Her room, my auntie was sleeping in her bed. There was no room for me. And I was upset and I was hurt. And she was just basically like, I don't give a fuck. This is my family. You can leave. And I had to go spend the night with my grandfather that night. And at the funeral, she handed me some tissue. She gave a great eulogy. But she never hugged me, never consoled me once. She held every other person but me. And before I left, I was talking to my auntie, and she said, your mother constantly shows you that she just doesn't want to have a relationship with you. And you keep trying, but she keeps showing you that she does not care for you. And I think that really just was like, yeah. It's like a toxic relationship, and you just keep thinking that it's going to work. You keep thinking that it's going to be okay. And then it doesn't like get better. For my grandmother to die and my mother to not hold me, hug me. And then the last time I spoke to my mother, I hadn't spoke to her in like over a year. She didn't even know I moved to DC. And we were okay. I just realized that she's just not going to be the parent for me. I've tried to have a conversation with my mother before to tell her everything that I was feeling. And I did have the conversation, but you know what she said? She said, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize. I did the best I could. The stuff that happened to you because you was being fast. You wasn't listening to me. The stuff that I was a good mother, like, I'm not going to apologize. And it's just like, we will never be able to make it past a certain stage because she can't acknowledge it. And that's all I want. I just want her to acknowledge it. There's no way you can hear this episode and just not be like, oh, like she is telling the truth, when the whole family knows, everybody knows, like, girl, you don't love me, you don't like me. She claims she does, but her actions my entire life has always showed otherwise. And the last time I spoke to my mom, once again, it's like when I talk to her, she's not in the conversation. When I'm telling her about my life and shit, she doesn't care, but she's quick to tell me about some new dude that she's talking to and how she's head over heels and how she's crazy. Like, there's so many more stories. I'm already over an hour in here. Like, I could talk till I'm blue in the face, but like, that's my mom. And I just realized that, like, you are just never gonna care about me the way that I want you to. You are just never gonna love me the way that I want you to, the way that I need you to. And I just decided that I'm done. I love her with everything in me, but the mother that I wish that she was is just not the mother that she is. And I really have to realize that, because every time I go back and I think that a certain amount of years is going to make it different, it doesn't. And I hurt myself every time. I'm living in the real world right now, and I've been going through shit that I've never, ever would have imagined. And I've been pulling myself out of the fire, and I've been swimming and drowning at the same time. And all I want is my mother, and I can't call her. I can't just be like, Mama, I want to start over. I want to come home. I miss you, because that's just not. My mama has never turned her back on me, but it comes with a price. It comes with my mental health. It comes with me suffering. It comes with the memories coming back, and it's just not worth it. I would rather suffer and figure it out. And I mean, it's making a woman out of me. So I'm not complaining per se, but are there times where I just want my mommy? Yeah. But when I think about wanting my mommy, and I think about, oh, her giving me support and the care and nurturing, that's not her. The version of her that I miss is a version of her that doesn't exist. So, but yeah, y'all, I have gone over the time so tremendously. So shout out to the ones who really listened to the end and listened to this whole thing. I know it was a lot. I might break this into two parts, maybe, because this is a heavy episode, but and it's a long episode. But I was never supposed to have a supportive family. I was never supposed to have a family that sees me, and that's very clear. I mean, it was one auntie who, it was like she saw me, but she's still a part of the family. She still has family traits. We don't even talk anymore. So when I look at my mom, it's like I see her and I be like, oh my gosh, she's just a girl. But there's just nothing more I would have wanted in the world than to have a relationship with my mother. A healthy one, where she actually liked me and wanted to get to know me. But yeah, thank y'all for staying to the end. Like I said, this is, the second to last episode. So we ended strong, y'all. We ended strong. But again, thank y'all so much for being here with me. And I'm sorry if this triggered you. I'm sorry if you were late. It's hard to have both mommy and daddy issues. Like, y'all, somebody call the people, because y'all, I be going through it, and I do, but I still get up and I still do what I have to do for me. I'm being the person that I always needed. I was a Matilda and I turned into a Miss Honey. It happens. And I'm okay. I want y'all to know that. I want y'all to know that I am okay. Thank y'all again for tuning in to another episode of Diary of a Divine Black Girl. And I will see y'all on the last episode. I love y'all so much. And till next time.